Hi there. Welcome to my little video, Hatha Yoga with Chintamani. It's classic yoga. And for this class, you'll be using 2 yoga blocks, a yoga strap, cushioning for your knees, pillows for your head if you like. And some folks like to use bed pillows under their abdomen when we do the back bending like baby cobra. So if you want to get any of those things and you don't have them already, pause this video and get all your stuff together, and then we'll get started lying on the back. Okay, now that you have all your props next to your mat, let's bring ourselves to lie down on the back on the floor. And your yoga strap is nearby. We'll lie down onto the side and then onto the back. And take a moment here, close the eyes. Connect to the breath. And we'll set our intentions for practice. I am going to imagine putting all of my daily life thoughts into a box, put a lid on it, scooch it into the other room. And I'm surrounding this room with a circle of light. This time I'm dedicating to my own healing, connecting to my heart, setting the intention to invite tranquility, invite centering. Thoughts might come, and that's okay. I'll just come back to my intentions whenever I can. So setting the intentions for calm and centeredness, as well as the physical benefits of the practice. And if you have any other intentions that you'd like to visualize, take a moment to do that. And visualizing patience, whatever comes to you. Obviously, I feel like I need some patience today. That's what came to me. And then let the intentions go out into the universe. Notice where you are in contact with the earth. Notice your sense of space around you. And light through the eyelids. Are there any sounds? Notice yourself inside of the body and the rhythm of the breath. And relax the mind, allow the consciousness to expand. So perhaps you can sense all of these things at once. The earth, the space, the light, the sound. Yourself inside. All of these things are a part of your experience in this moment. This is a simple mindfulness technique which can be very beneficial in reducing stress. Bring your knees up to your chest, noticing the sensation. I feel a stretch in my lower back. I don't know about you. Now we'll rock a little side to side. Try to stay present with what's happening now, feeling that rocking on the earth. And next we'll start to circle the knees in unison. You can do this with your hands assisting, or if you prefer, arms down. The circles can be bigger or smaller, depending on what feels right. We'll go ahead and finish this circle, then reverse the direction of the circling. It's okay if you're traveling down your mat. That happens. We'll do about one more. I'm really traveling today. Okay, hug the knees to the chest. And then we'll plant the feet flat down again. Okay, sending the arms up to the ceiling in front of the chest. Join your palms together. And then rock your arms a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. So this can be a very small movement with your head on the floor. Or if you like to go bigger, you might bring your chin towards your chest and go bigger. I like to bring the back of the hand to my floor, roll to the other side, same thing. And we'll do this for a few breaths. It's always good to remind yourself that you're allowed to go off the program. I'm creating a program that I hope is beneficial. But if you need to do less or do something different, you have that agency, right? It's your practice. I'm going to go ahead and do one more set of these on each side. And when you feel that you're done, we'll come back to center and release the arms down to the sides. Release the head into the floor. Then roll the head a little side to side to loosen the neck. I'm not sure what that sound is. There's a funny sound happening. I hope that's not distracting to you at home. Okay, center. Now hug the right knee to the chest. Bring your awareness into the ankle joint and we'll point and flex the ankle a few times to warm it up, loosen it up. And then we'll explore some circling. So we want to not hold ourselves back unnecessarily. So we're seeking a full range of motion, but also not pushing or forcing, just finding what's available. Let's reverse the direction, seeing what is available in your range of motion. Then relax the ankle, just kind of let it hang. Keep your left hip grounded and we'll circle the right thigh around in the hip joint. It could be a small circle or it can be big. And then we'll finish that circle and reverse. Again, keeping the left hip fairly grounded. And when this circle is done, hug the knee close to the body. Then you'll put your foot flat on the floor, slide the leg out straight, and flex the foot, reaching the heel to the wall in front of you. Tuck your tail under. And if you like, you can bring your arms up overhead. If that aggravates your back, then obviously don't do that. You want to keep your low front ribs down as you reach up. And then we'll just relax, let the limbs kind of rebound, and plant your right foot flat on the floor again. You might need to lift up your hips and kind of reset. Then we'll hug the left knee to the chest. Starting with your ankle joint, point and flex the ankle. And then we'll circle the ankle gently, but also not holding ourselves back unnecessarily. Reverse the direction of the circling. And let your ankle just kind of release. Keep your right hip grounded and begin to circle the left thigh around. This can be a small circle, it could be bigger. Stay to the left of the navel. When you finish this next circle, reverse the direction of the circling. And then when this is complete, we'll hug the knee close to the chest. Try to relax the muscles in the front of the hip. And then we'll plant that foot flat. Slide that left leg out straight. Flex the foot and reach the heel towards the wall in front of you. Tuck your tail under slightly. And optional if you want to try bringing your arms up overhead. Keep your low front ribs down and your back long. And then as you relax, your limbs will just kind of rebound. And we'll plant the left foot flat next to the right. Arms can be wherever you want. Step the feet a little bit wide. And then we'll mindfully move the knees over to one side. So your opposite hip lifts up off the floor, and then we'll go to the other side. And do this a few times. Keep breathing. And we'll finish up this movement on both sides. Return to the center, bringing your feet side by side. Next, we'll tap the calves. Float your feet up in the air. And with one foot, locate the calf muscle of the opposite leg. Really try to relax the leg that's receiving. Your ankle should be loose, and you'll start to tap close to the knee. Work your way down slowly towards the ankle. And then we'll work our way back up. And let's do the second leg. Go. Tap, tap, tap. Close to the knee. Work your way down towards your ankle. Work your way back up. And then we'll rest our feet flat on the floor, resting in the paws. Now extend the right leg up in the air. And let your ankle be relaxed and open in the front. We'll bend and extend the leg a few times. Relaxed ankle. And then if you like, you can flex the foot at the top and bend the knee. Flex the foot at the top and bend. That's up to you. And then we'll plant this foot flat back down. Sending the left leg up, ankle is relaxed and open. Bend the knee and extend the leg a few times. If you like, you can add a flexed foot at the top of the movement and relaxed ankle as you bend the knee, flex at the top. Very good. Okay, let's finish that movement and bring the feet down. Next, we will stretch with the yoga strap. Take your yoga strap and place it on your right foot. You'll reach your right leg up in the air. Place the strap on the center arch of the foot. And then try to keep your pelvis neutral as you bring the leg up towards the body. And we'll breathe. From the ankle is open. Now lower the leg down just a little bit and slightly turn the leg out so the toes point to the right. Bring the leg just 2 inches across the body. And then think about pulling up towards the left shoulder. And it might not be very much. In fact, your foot might not even seem to move in space, but it will change the location of the stretch, I think. It could come up higher. It's really up to the individual. And then go ahead and bring that leg back to center. Same leg, turn the leg out so the toes point to the right. Take the leg across the body, this time more than 2 inches, and stay below the navel. So don't pull up towards the shoulder, just go across. Your hip might want to lift up off the floor. Please go ahead and put it down, at least mostly. And if you feel like you'd like to experience a little bit of a deeper stretch, try pulling on the right piece of the strap. And that might give you a little bit more juice. I like to actually cross the strap one time, and I feel that then it works even better if I pull with my left hand and it affects the outer right edge of my foot. So I'll just offer that. And there's also going to be more hip stretching to come. So if you're not feeling something strong now, don't worry. You'll have more opportunities. Let's bring this leg back to center. Reach your left foot, so uncross the strap, and reach your left foot up into the strap. Bring your right foot down. Okay, same 3 stretches. We're going to keep the pelvis neutral and draw the legs straight up towards the body. You don't have to go up as high as me. I just have a lot of flexibility in the backs of my legs, so I can bring my leg up kind of high. Not as high as I've seen. I once did a workshop and I was partnered with a ballet dancer, and his leg could go all the way up over his head. So let's decrease the intensity, lower the leg a little bit, turn the leg out so the toes point to the left, and then just 2 inches across the body we go, then a little bit up towards the right shoulder. And again, your foot might not move, but it might come up higher. Hip stays down. It's a pain-free range. And we'll come back to center. Same leg, turn the leg out so toes point slightly to the left. This time as you go across, stay below the navel. Don't pull up towards the shoulder. If your hip comes up, put it back down. And then you might play with pulling on the left side of the strap. Or you could try my new method of crossing the strap one time Pull with the right hand, and that will affect the left side of the leg. Just breathe. And then we'll come on back to center. Let's take a break from the yoga strap. Remove it from your foot. Put the yoga strap down. And hug your knees up to your chest. Open the knees out to the sides like the wings of a butterfly. Place your hands on your inner thighs. And then we'll just breathe here. Soft pelvic floor, relax. Now, I like to take it easy with this stretch at this point in the practice, but you might straighten your leg on one side or both sides. And we'll put those feet down on the floor again. Okay, yoga strap again to the right foot. We're going to go right into the figure four stretch. So place the strap on the center arch of your foot. And you might need to lower the leg away from your body to make space. Then hop the left ankle up and over the right knee. Bend the right knee. Flex the left ankle. And then you can use the yoga strap to draw up. Try to release your shoulders back towards the floor. Breath is flowing. And then if you like, rock your hips a little side to side. I like the way that feels. If it's not your cup of tea, you can skip it. Okay. Now let's reach the left foot up into the strap next to the right foot. And bring your right ankle down. Cross it over the left knee. Flex the right ankle. Bend the left knee so the shin is parallel to the ceiling. And then you'll use the yoga strap to draw the legs up towards the body. And the breath flows. Notice what the stretch feels like. If you like, you could rock your hips a little side to side. And then center. Take the yoga strap off of your feet and put your feet down. We'll just place this strap to the side. Open and close your fingers a few times. Next, we'll transition over to one side and bring ourselves up to hands and knees. And we'll get organized. So this is a time to put a cushion under your kneecaps to make sure that your yoga blocks are near the front of your mat. So they'll be ready to go. And I'm just going to pause for a moment to give people time to get organized. So if you're already there, you can just observe your breath Notice where you're in contact with the earth. Okay, so we'll begin by reaching the right foot back behind us and place the ball of the foot on the floor. Stretch your toes, and then we'll rock forward and back, forward and back. And then lower that knee to the floor. Reach your other foot back, same thing. Rocking forward and back. And then lower that knee to the floor. Downward facing dog variation 1. Send your right arm way out in front of you in space. Keep the hand far away and float it down to the floor. And then reach the left arm forward and float that hand down. Draw the navel in. Shift your hips towards the wall behind you and elongate both sides of the torso. Then release your head between your arms. We're separating the shoulder blades away from each other and wrapping them around the side ribs. And breathe. Then bring your chest forward and up and walk your hands back directly under your shoulders. Now you're welcome to repeat that first variation of downward facing dog, or join me in variation 2. Toes are curled under, knees lift, and you'll push the floor away with your hands. Shift your hips to the wall behind you. Keep your knees bent to begin. Shoulder blades wrap around your side ribs. If you'd like a calf stretch, we can send the right heel down and then switch. One knee bends, the opposite heel reaches. And switch. You can do that a few more times. And then pause in stillness. The knees can be bent. In fact, that's probably more beneficial to most of us. Hips are reaching to the wall behind you. And then we'll lower the knees to the floor. Preparing for our knee down lunge or Anjaneyasana. Take your yoga blocks and place them on their tallest level under your hands. And it's best if you're making a straight line from your shoulder to your arm to your hand. That's going to be giving you the most amount of support and control. And then you can step your right foot forward. Align the heel directly under the knee. And try not to let your knee drift towards the big toe side of the foot. You want to point the knee towards the index toe. Walk your hands up onto your thigh. Draw the navel in and up. Send your tail down and reach your arms up to the sky. And that's the pose, Anjaneyasana. Sending energy into your standing knee might help to increase the stretch. Then float your hands down onto your thigh. You're welcome to exit the pose if this pose is not comfortable on your knee. Or if you'd like to deepen the stretch, a couple different ways you could do that. You can simply send your front knee a little bit forward. Or you can bring your hands to your blocks and scoot the back knee back a little. And that might give you a better stretch. We'll just be here a couple more breaths now. And then we'll all bring our hands down. Shift the hips back a little so you can step your right foot back. Okay, for the second side, I'll face you in case that is helpful. We'll step the left foot forward. You're aligning the heel directly under the knee. Let me just scooch back a little here. Okay, The heel directly under the knee pointing to the index toe. Then you'll walk your hands up onto your thigh. Hip points lift up in the front. Tailbone reaches down in the back, and then we'll reach up to the sky. Relax the shoulders. Sending energy and awareness into your standing knee. Float your hands back down to your thigh. And if you'd like to increase the stretch, you can send your knee just a little bit forward. Or maybe you like to go more forward. Could also scoot the back leg back. And then we'll pause for a few breaths for those who are enjoying the stretch. And shift your hips back a little bit. We'll bring our hands down so we can step that leg back. Great. You can go ahead and just put your blocks to the side. And from hands and knees, we're going to bring ourselves through downward dog to a standing position. Start by lifting both your knees. Push the floor away and widen your feet. Walk your hands back. The thighs are moving towards being parallel to the floor as we go into a squat here. And then you can draw the navel in, press your hands into the tops of the thighs and lift the torso. Straighten the legs, bring your feet side by side. Fix your cute outfit. And we will set up for our side series. To begin, I don't want to trip over any blankets, so I'm removing them from my space. If you like to set up near a wall, so that when we get to this part of the series, you have more height, then you'll set up near a wall. Otherwise, if the blocks work for you, place your 2 blocks on the floor in front of the long end of the mat. And then we'll step our feet side by side, 2 to 4 inches apart, Tadasana, arms at the sides. Join your palms at your heart center. Reach your arms forward in space, turn the palms up and open the arms wide, opening the chest. Then bring your right arm across your heart and scoop your left arm under for half eagle arm, pull it in. Let's take a full cycle of breath. Then we'll open the arms wide again. Bring the left arm across, right arm under. Full cycle of breath. Center, sweep the arms out and up to the sky. And then bend the knees and reach the arms out wide, floating the hands down onto the thighs. Just stay here. I'm going to turn into profile in case it's visually helpful. So I'm going to scoop the belly in and tuck the tail under. So just the lower back stretches. And then as you inhale, lift the tail and let the belly soften. As you exhale, scoop the belly in and tuck the tail. And inhale, soften, allow the tailbone to lift. Exhale, scoop the belly and tuck. Good, back to neutral. Take the arms out and up. Unhinge, reach up to a high prayer. And then float your arms down to your sides. Roll the shoulders back. And reverse. Release the shoulders. Reach your right arm down and away and lean your head to the left. Bringing the head back up. Reach the left arm down and away, leaning the head to the right. And bring the head back up. Chin to the right collarbone. Forward gaze, chin to the left collarbone. Forward gaze, place one hand behind your neck and slide up to the back of the head. And then your other hand behind the neck. And we'll switch, switch, switch. Lengthening the muscles in the back of the neck. Then interlace your fingers and squeeze your heels of your hands against your skull. Make sure you're looking straight forward. And then imagine you can lengthen your head up towards the ceiling. It's a very gentle pull. And then we'll float the arms up and down. Step the feet wide apart. I'm just going to move these in a little bit because I want my feet to be visible. Okay, so we'll turn all the toes to the right and bend the knee directly atop the heel. I like to keep this foot with the heel slightly turned out, but some folks are more comfortable with the foot parallel to the side of the mat. So that's your choice, depending on what feels right in your joints. And then we'll float the arms out. So right now the gaze is pretty much the same direction that the heart is. We'll call this a forward gaze. And in Warrior Two, you gaze out over your right hand. So come back to your forward gaze. We'll straighten the right leg, reach up to a high prayer, bend the knee, open the arms, and turn the gaze out over the right hand. Center forward gaze, straighten the right leg and reach up, and then bend the knee and reach out. Okay, now with your breath, inhaling, reaching up. Exhale, reach out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, pause here. Peaceful warrior. The right arm reaches up to the sky. Side angle stretch, right hand to the thigh. Shift your hips slightly back, and then take the left arm forward and alongside the ear and stretch towards the wall. Press into your left foot slightly. That might help to open up your side body even more. And then we'll inhale, peaceful warrior. And Warrior Two. Preparing for Trikonasana, gently straighten your right leg without locking. Shift your hips back, reach into space, and then lower down to touch your shin. And you're trying to align your head with your spine. Inhale to peaceful. And exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Then parallel the feet, reaching up to your high prayer. Turn all your toes to the left again. Bend the knee and open the arms wide. Okay, so for those flying warriors, a little different awareness. Sometimes when we straighten the leg, we like to fall towards the big toe side of the foot. Try to really keep your knee pointing towards your index toe as you straighten the leg and as you bend the leg. So let's add the turning of the head. You're gazing forward, arms come up, and then gaze out over your left hand. And inhale. And exhale with your breath. Breathing in and out. 2 more like that. Last one. Peaceful warrior, left arm to the sky. Side angle stretch. Bring your left hand to your thigh and shift your hips back. Reach the right arm alongside your ear, stretching towards the wall, pressing into your back foot. And then inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, Warrior Two. For triangle, gently straighten the left leg, shift your hips back, reach out into space, and then we'll lower down to touch the shin. We're intending to align the head with the spine. On your inhale, float up and back to Peaceful Warrior, bending the left knee. And Virabhadrasana 2. Then parallel the feet, reaching up to a high prayer. Join your palms at your heart center. And then step your feet side by side, releasing your arms to your sides. Take a moment to freestyle. Make any movements that feel balancing. Sometimes I like to kick my tush. My knees get a little bit cranky in those wide-footed poses sometimes, so this helps them to feel better. You might want to stick out a hip for a little stretch. And then we're going to repeat the sequence. Add on at the end, we'll add some other poses, but just inviting a sense of mindfulness. This is a moving meditation. So we're really going to try to connect the breath and the movement and the presence. Starting with a prayer at the heart. Step the feet wide apart, reaching the arms out wide. High prayer. Turn all your toes to the right and bend the knee, opening into warrior two. 3 flying warriors. We'll turn the head as we straighten the leg, reach up, bend the knee, reaching out with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, warrior two. Inhale and exhale. Peaceful warrior, inhale. Side angle stretch, right hand to the thigh, left arm alongside the ear. Breathing. On your inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, warrior two. Trikonasana, straighten the right leg, shift the hips back, reaching into space, we'll lower to touch the shin, connecting to breath. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, warrior two. Parallel the feet, reaching up to a high prayer. Turning all the toes to the left, bend the knee and open into Virabhadrasana 2. Flying warriors, palms turn up. Inhale, straighten the leg. And exhale, gaze out over your left hand. And inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Peaceful warrior. Side angle stretch. Bring the left hand to the thigh. Shift the hips back and reach the right arm alongside the ear, stretching to the wall. On your inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Trikonasana, gently straighten your left leg, shift your hips back, reaching forward and down. Pause. And we'll inhale to peaceful warrior. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. And adding on, parallel the feet. Reach up to your high prayer. And join your palms at the center of your heart. We'll bend the knees slightly, turn the heels in and the toes out. And lower down into goddess pose, opening the arms out wide. Straighten the legs, reach the arms up high. Then bend the elbows and pull down. Imagine you're at the gym. You might have done this at the gym. You take the handlebars of the lat pull down machine and you pull it down. And then you slowly ease up and you pull it down. Good. So we're going to add the bending of the knees, sending the arms up, and then pull down with your hands as you straighten your legs. And extend. And bend. One more time, extending the arms. And bend. Good, opening the arms wide, bend the knees. And now you'll bring your hands onto your wall if you're using a wall or a table. And if you're using your blocks, try to make a straight line from your shoulder to your arm to your block. Then we'll shift into the right leg and straighten the left leg. I like to flex my foot when I do this, but others prefer the toes down. And then we'll shift to the other side. Returning to the first side. Now, you have the choice to reach down a little bit lower if you want more intensity, or maybe just shift your weight a little bit forward or back and see if you can get a better stretch from a slightly different position. It's very subtle. Well, the movement is subtle. The sensation might be not subtle to you. Let's put those toes down and shift to the other side. So same thing, you have the option to reach down lower or to maybe shift your weight a little forward or a little back. And then we'll come back to center and make your feet parallel. So the toes are not turned out anymore. Feet are parallel. Draw the navel in and think about your hips reaching slightly back behind your heels. And if you feel comfortable, you're going to shift the weight into the right hand. Keep your torso still and float the left arm out to the left. So your chest is still facing the floor. We'll float that hand down. Shifting the weight into the left hand, float the right arm out to the side. You're maintaining center through the core. And float that hand down. Returning to goddess pose, bend your knees and turn your heels in and your toes out. We'll shift the weight into the legs, come into a squat, then lift your chest and reach your arms out wide. Then we'll straighten the legs, reaching high to the sky in a high prayer. Join your palms at the center of your heart and release. Parallel the feet, step the feet side by side, and freestyle for a moment. Next, we will stretch the top of the thigh in Shiva Natarajasana. So I'm just going to move these blocks to the side. I don't need these. Move over to a wall, and you have the option to use your yoga strap. Starting with your feet parallel to each other. You have one hand on a wall or something, and then the outside leg, you can kick yourself in the tush a few times. And if it's comfortable, simply catch your ankle or your pant leg. Otherwise, you're welcome to use a yoga strap. There's a lot of different methods. The quickest is just to make a hoop with the two ends touching. Step your outside foot through the hoop. Bring the hoop down to the ankle and then slightly behind you. And from there, you can use the strap to bring the leg back. Now, once you've got this going, try to point the knee at the floor. Align your two hip points. And you're welcome to just stretch. You don't have to add the balance, but you could. You could have a couple fingers on the wall or one, or go ahead and take that arm up. Breathing. And then we'll let that go. Untangle yourself. You might feel like shaking out your feet a little bit. Sometimes the feet get sore. Okay, second side. So feel free to simply catch your foot in your hand, or you can use your yoga strap to bring the heel towards the sits bone. Once you've got it, point your knee at the floor. And we tend to stick out the outside hip. So we're going to try to glide into the standing hip, align the two hip points. Welcome to keep your hand on the wall, or go ahead and add the balance. Terrific. We'll release this leg. Shake the legs out a little bit. And you can put your strap to the side if you are using it. Come away from the wall again. And we'll reach the arms forward, palms up, open the chest again. And then bend the knees and face the palms forward. Turn to the right and let your pelvis and your knees move with you as you rotate, looking back over your right shoulder. We'll come back to the center. And same thing, bend your knees a little bit and rotate to the left. Back to the center, take your arms up. Release your right arm, lengthen your left ribs, and fold your right ribs like an accordion as you side bend. Coming back to the top and side bend, folding your left ribs, keeping both shoulders back, press into both feet. Back to the top, bend the knees, open the arms wide, and rotate to the right. Look back over your shoulder. Back through the center and rotate to the left. Back to the center, reach up high. Right side bend. Up in the center. Left side bend. Back to the top. Float your arms down to your sides. Terrific. We're getting ready to go back down onto the mat. We'll do some planks and some back bends. So you might want to get your pillows nearby and cushion for your knees. Right? Oh, and if you're using a yoga bolster for your back bends, you might need one yoga block to put under your forehead. And if you're already down on the floor, you don't have to get back up. But for those of you who are still standing, step your feet wide, turn the toes out. We'll inhale and reach the arms up. Then bend the knees and swan dive down, bringing the hands to the floor. Walk your hands forward and lower the knees to the floor. Okay. Preparing for plank pose first. Your hands are under your shoulders. The fingers are open but relaxed. We'll reach the right foot back and place the ball of the foot on the floor. Press into the ball of the foot, press into the hands, and wrap your side muscles around your torso. That's it. Lower that knee, reach the other foot back, same thing. Or go ahead and bring both feet back. Crown of the head is reaching forward, tailbone back, pressing into the hands a little bit, and the balls of the feet. You're breathing. And then we'll lower the knees to the floor. Okay. Preparing for our back bending. You're going to lie down on your abdomen on the floor. This much padding can actually sway your lower back, so we don't want that much padding, but a single layer would be fine. I'm going to do my back bends with my bolster. So if you're straight down on the floor or you're using a couple of ordinary bed pillows under your abdomen, then you could probably stack your hands under your forehead and rest everything down on the floor. But for me, the bolster is too high for that. So I'm going to put my yoga block under my forehead and rest my arms. Yeah. Okay, so I've got that going. And I'm just going to pause for a moment because I know it takes sometimes a little bit of time to get yourself settled. If you're already here, this is a good opportunity to practice breathing and relaxing. All right, to prepare. Tops of the feet to the floor. Draw the navel in and up and drop your tailbone down between your thighs into the floor. And then imagine you can scoop your tailbone through the floor up towards your chest. And from there, keep your hip bones down and lift up your right leg. Pulse it 2 times. 1, 2, and down. Left leg. 1, 2, and down and right. 1, 2, and down and left. That's it. Now the goal is to keep your hip bones still. You don't want your hip bones shifting towards your head or towards the ceiling. Let's do 2 more on each side. 1 more on each side. And then rest. I'm just going to adjust myself on my bolster here. There we go. That's better. Okay, tops of the feet to the floor. Drop your tailbone down and scoop your belly in, and then lift your chest up. And reach your arms back behind you with the palms down on the floor. Your collarbones are open wide. Keep scooping the belly and keep checking the lower back. One more good breath here. And then we'll lower all the way down. Stacking your hands under your forehead. Gently shake your hips out to loosen them. And then tops of the feet to the floor again. Drop your tailbone down, scoop your belly, lift your chest. Reach your arms back along your sides. If you like, you can lift your legs as well. And look slightly down at your mat so your neck is long. Breathing here. Can you sing Row, Row, Row Your Boat? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Maybe one more round. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And rest everything down. Shake the hips a little side to side. And then we'll bring the hands under the shoulders. Press the floor away and come up to hands and knees. Removing the pillows. And we're going to take about 5 breaths in either downward facing dog or plank. And then we'll do a child's pose. So you might want your cushion for your knees. Okay. And then you'll set up for either down dog or plank. And count your breaths. And then we'll lower the knees to the floor. For child's pose, shift the hips back towards the heels. If you can, you'll let your head release. Then we'll walk the arms just a little bit to the right. So your chest comes towards your right knee. And reach your left sits bone back. If this bothers your knees, it's fine to lift your hips up. You can still get a good stretch with your hips up high if you're reaching your left hip back. And we'll come through center. over to the other side. So you're slightly to the left, you're reaching your right sits bone back. Breathing. Back to center. And then we'll bring the chest forward and up. Have a seat of any kind. You can sit with your legs straight, whatever you want to do. Okay. So I'm probably going over time. I know how I am. If you need to stop the video, then just take a moment to center your energy as best you can. Excuse me while I have a little hair problem there. Okay. So you can bring your prayer to your heart, close your eyes, and take a moment to imagine soaking up your benefits of your practice and make sure you're grounded. And if you'd like to practice Shavasana, I'll be leading the Shavasana. So you'll go ahead and make your way to lie down on your back. Okay, if you'd like to do some movements, it might feel nice to hug the knees to the chest and rock a little side to side to help yourself settle. This is optional. You might be completely in your Shavasana already. And then you might put the feet down and, similar to the warm-up, send your arms up to the ceiling, palms together, and make some small movements side to side. And then centering, release the arms and roll your head a little side to side. And then we'll center. Okay, take a moment to make yourself as comfortable as you can. Since I'm the MC, I will come over to the computer. And I'll do a little guided mindfulness meditation while we rest. Relax. The breath comes and goes. Releasing the head into the floor. Your arms are releasing. Whatever position your legs are in, they're releasing. The head is releasing back into the floor. All the bones of the spine releasing back, as is your rib cage and your pelvis. The brain is releasing back in the back of the head. Eyes are releasing back. And all of the internal organs in the chest, the abdomen, the kidneys and the adrenal glands in the back are releasing. And this same attitude is coming even into all of the cells in the skin and the blood, the marrow of your bones. Everything is still functioning well. But also soft. Noticing connecting to the floor. Noticing the sensation of the breath. Where do you notice it in your body? There's light coming through the lids of the eyes. Noticing sounds. The mind is programmed to try to identify sounds as soon as they're heard. Let's imagine we can relax that part of the brain and allow the sounds to simply be a part of the ambiance without any need to reach out to them and label. Return your awareness to your breath. The practice of mindfulness is a practice of opening to the moment. So often the internal dialogue is about preferences. It's about things that we want, things that we don't want, what we're going to do later. When we can open ourselves to the present moment, we can experience very simple pleasures. How wonderful it is to just breathe. And if you're practicing mindfulness out in daily life, you'll truly taste the tea. You'll truly smell the flower and be one with the tree. Everything you look upon, the colors come into you and enliven you. Can you find that sense of enrichment here and now? Just being fully alive in this moment. And we'll try to take this attitude of sweet presence with us as we start to move, starting with the fingers and the toes. Wiggle a little bit. Roll the head a little bit side to side. This will start to awaken our energy. One at a time, place the soles of the feet on the floor. Then gently roll over to one side and bring yourself to an upright seat. And we'll join our palms together to seal the practice. Rest the thumbs on the heart. Thank yourself for making time for your wellness. And thank you for watching this video. I hope this practice brings you ease, peace of mind, and a deep connection to what you truly are. Thank you so much. Take care. Brucey approves this video.